Okay, so today's topic is globalization. Globalization means making our country an open economy. Before NEP, our economy was virtually a closed economy. What is the definition of closed economy? That means unless until it is necessary, we are not going to engage ourselves in international trade. Now we will be promoting export, and we are going to um, discourage export by imposing high tariff on it, by imposing quota restriction on it. And how to promote export? By giving some impetus to the export industries. We can give subsidies also to exportable. So these were the policies taken up by Indian government throughout the planning period. Import substitution and export promotion. Now after globalization, we are making our economy open. That means we are lifting all the restriction on import. We are reducing the tariff on importables, and we are abolishing quota restriction. And for export also, we are going to give some impetus in terms of technology import or something like that, upgradation of technology. Okay, but in general, we are not going to give subsidies for export. Okay, and another last thing, that is we will consider foreign direct investment, and we will consider foreign institutional investment. Okay, okay. So this is the globalization in a nutshell. Now let me tell you what is the history of globalization. Now you must be knowing there are two institutions which are known as Bretton Woods sisters. Bretton Woods sisters. Who are they? IMF and World Bank. Okay, these two are, as from a Bretton Woods Convention, those two have started their journey. These two are known as Bretton Woods sisters, IMF and World Bank. As I told you earlier also that we have taken a loan, okay, Havoc loan from IMF and World Bank in early 80s. Now the whole world was advocating in favor of free trade zone. Then there should not be any export subsidies or import tariff. So for that, these two organizations initiated one kind of project. They called Arthur Dunkel. I repeat, Arthur Dunkel, to propose or to draft a proposal for free trade zone. And that is very famous or sometime infamous as Dunkel proposition. So Dunkel proposition led to general agreement on tariff and trade, and later on S is also added, that is services. So now it is called GATS, General Agreement on Tariff, Trade and Services. So all the economies or countries were asked, sometime it was forced to sign GATS. It's a treaty. The moment an economy signed GATT, the economy will automatically become a member of WTO. India, okay, is one of the founder member of WTO. India has signed GATT in 1991-92 and became the member of WTO. Once you signed that treaty and become the member of WTO, you have to abide by certain rules and regulations, okay, imposed by WTO. So what are they? Number one, you have to abolish quota restriction on import. Number two, you have to reduce tariff on import. You are not supposed to, third one, you are not supposed to give subsidies for export promotion. You need to welcome foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investment. Okay, and you need to make your exchange rate system a flexible one, not a fixed one. That means a market determined in foreign exchange rate. And in turn, a market determined rate of interest. So you are making your economy free from all the restrictions. So this is a kind of history of GATT, WTO, and overall globalization. Now let us discuss the components of globalization. There are 4 components. First component is reduction of trade barrier. Trade barrier can be in terms of tariff, in terms of quota, which is called non-tariff barrier. I repeat, trade barrier can be in terms of tariff or in terms of quota, which is also called a non-tariff barrier. So once we signed that GATT and became the member of WTO, the first thing that we have to do is to reduce trade barrier. Now second point is we have to ensure free flow of capital. Okay, free flow of capital. That means import and export of capital and technology. We have to upgrade our technology. We can import, improve technology. We can make our indigenous technology obsolete. We can replace our technology, old technology, by an improved imported technology. Okay, so this is called I marked 2 points. It is actually free flow of capital as well as technology. Okay, so I marked 2 points: free flow of capital and free flow of technology. So both are basically same. And when we talk about free flow of capital, it is basically welcoming FDI and FII. Foreign institutional investment, foreign direct investment. Foreign institutions are free to buy shares of our company through share market. You know, we have NSE, BSE, etc. And foreign companies are free to invest directly in India, to join hand with Indian company to form a partnership. Okay, for example, Hero, Honda, Maruti Suzuki, these are the examples. So they can invest directly in India and start a joint venture with our home industries. And the fourth is that free flow of labor. Free flow of labor among different countries. Now, this also started after we signed GATT, we became member of WTO. Now you must have heard about BPO, business process outsourcing, KPO, knowledge process outsourcing. The word this outsourcing came after we became the member of WTO and we announced globalization. So outsourcing is the product of globalization, which is very, very important. Now our laborer can go to other country and work freely over there, and our other countries' laborer can come to our country and work freely. You must have heard about kind of US visa, that H1B1, etc. Okay, so outsourcing is the last point. So these 3 things or 4 things, if you separate capital and technology under different head, are the component of globalization.